Oh, we're rolling? Yeah. Oh, I'm making notes over here, dog. What the hell's going on?
You can make notes later, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Welcome back to another episode of Fishing After Dark with the beard and the badge. I had a wire wrapped around a rat's leg.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, I got it.
All right.
Oh.
Hone it in.
I'm good.
Persevere, dog.
As always, the podcast is brought to you guys by Carl's Bait and Tackle, the local internet tackle shop. They got everything there from Googan baits to rods and reels. Why do you always look at me crazy?
Sorry, dude. I'm just enjoying it.
I mean, we're 5 seconds into this podcast, and we're already laughing at stupid stuff. That's never a good sign.
No,
but
it's not great.
yeah, shopcarls.com. We'll talk more about them later on the show. We may have a promo for our podcast listeners only, but we got a big show today. We've got Flair Daddy coming back on, and he is pissed about something.
Yeah, he ain't happy.
He texted me the other night, and he was pissed.
Yeah, he texted me too.
Yeah, he just forgot to add you to the group chat. Is all it was.
It's fine.
But yeah, we got Flair coming on in a little bit. We've been getting back on track with the podcast. We missed a week. We already told you guys what happened, but
yeah, we're back.
We're back on the grind. We're gonna do some things here. Yeah, I was making a note list for Flair because he texted me. I would say he called me, but he didn't call me. I should just lie and say he called me.
That sounds better.
Okay. He called me one night, and
Okay.
he was real desperate to tell a story, right? And he was just like, "Look, man, it's like we need to do another podcast because something has happened with my new camera people. Because last time we had him on the podcast, the whole thing was we were talking about Pool Jet and where Pool Jet went and why he left." And then he was talking about his new camera people. Well, those camera people are no longer working for Flair. So
I'm so curious.
I know. That's all I know is the thing. I really don't know because we were going to have a conversation about it. But I was like, you know what? No. If you want to do a podcast, Flair, we'll just do a podcast and you just, we'll find out when everybody else finds out.
Yeah. So we're figuring out real time with you guys.
Yeah, this is real time reaction. So, I have no idea. I don't know. It could be a short story. Might be an hour. I don't know. But it seems like it's going to be the one that you're going to want to stick around for.
Yeah. Tears will be shed. Voices will shake.
Probably so. Probably so. But, is there anything we need to ask him other than, or we're just going to bring him on and let him talk? I feel like that's going to be the kind of podcast this is.
I think this is kind of a different type of podcast.
Yeah. It's not going to be so much of like an interview or like a conversation. It's going to be a conversation, but it's going to be like all right, Flair, you got the floor. What the hell's going on? You know what I mean? What is happening right now?
Yeah, address the situation. So
yeah. So, well, I guess.
Is he ready?
Yeah, he literally. Speaking of the devil, he literally just texted me said he was ready.
Did you just call Flair the devil?
Well, speaking of. All right. Well, we got our good friend Andrew Flair here. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
What's going on? Glad to be here, back on the old cast.
Yeah, man, back on the cast.
I don't have a podcast. I don't really have a desire to have one, so I feel like I live vicariously through you.
You should, man.
Go be on Lojo's podcast, and just do podcast things because podcasting's fun. I have no desire to put the work in for it, but it's fun. It's fun being a guest and not having to do. It's kind of like if your buddy has a really nice boat, you're like, oh, dude, I love fishing on that boat. Yeah, but if it was your boat and you're making the payments, you got to clean it, you wouldn't like it as much. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like
that's a very fair point.
It's
a fair point. Yeah, Badge does have a boat, by the way. He's got a houseboat if you're interested. So, well, yeah, man, it's good to have you back. I hope every time you come back, it's not like more fired employees, though. I hope that's not the news every time we see you. But, dude, without further ado, I know that you've had some crazy shit going on. So, without further ado, man, I'll just turn over the floor to you and just let you kind of. What the hell is going on out there at Flair Farm, man? What's going on?
It's been one of them stretches, dude. It's been a stretch. It's been I don't even know when it started. I feel like the whole year has been pretty rocky. There's some good points. Don't get me wrong. It's not like my life sucks. Okay, love my life. Wouldn't regret anything. Had a baby. Okay, you can't complain. Okay, you had a child. It's been great. But on the business side, I feel like taking some L's lately, gotten my shit kicked in. Can I cuss on here? How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. As many times as possible. We'll bleep them, but that's the work for the editor, so that's fine.
Okay. No. It's been good. Just I think this is what happens when you've done something a long time and you don't you don't want to, go irrelevant or become irrelevant. And you're like, I don't know, like when you like try so hard to like figure out, not that I wouldn't call it the next thing, as if I'm like discovering like something, just like not get stale, not get stagnant, like keep growing, stay innovative, and not really having a whole lot of people to like look to, right? Like what we do, other people do, but not a ton of guys do it at like the caliber that like you and me and like, obviously the other Googans do it. Right. And I feel like there's like two roads. You either just accept, whatever path you're going down and you just kind of like tinker away at it, or you just like try to like bust through brick walls and like do the next thing, come up with the next thing, and like keep going. Like don't ever, and that's just kind of how I'm never like content, which is like a blessing and a curse, I guess. Which has kind of led me to, go through different employees and business partners and whatever. And stuff doesn't work out because like I have super high expectations for people. And I'll get into the story here, and a lot of this will make more sense, but I just kind of like want to preface the whole thing. Like everything that's been going on, like I've been doing a lot of like self-reflecting, right? Like, okay, am I the shithead? Someone just tell me I'm the shithead. I'll accept it. Just someone tell me I'm being a shithead, because like in my eyes, I'm not being a shithead, but that doesn't mean I'm right. I'm not always right. But looking back, it's just like, yeah, I like keep looking at these situations. Like, is it me? Is it me? Is me? But that the problem is like, I don't really have a whole lot of people to like look to, for guidance on this. And then like, the other thing is I think I got super, super spoiled with really good business partners early on, being like all the Guggen squad. You, for example, we've worked together for years, like all my partners at Ducks. Like not that I wouldn't say I took anyone for granted, because I feel like we all like appreciate one another, but like I'm finding out not everybody is as good as business partners as like some of these other guys that I've worked with. Like, the first business partners I ever had was, Lunkers, John B, Perrick, LFG, you, like, and just having like business partners that have like the same mindset, and like the same drive and the same ambition. I'm finding that not all humans are like us three in this little group. Cause I know you're like this, Badge. Like I can already tell you have the same personality we do. Yep. But that's what I'm finding out, right? I'm finding out that not everybody is the same. So anyways, I'm like doing some self-reflecting on this, trying to figure it all out. And there's not a whole lot to do other than just to you either give up and you're just like, screw it, I'm done. Or you keep trying. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to keep trying if I'm going to keep making the same mistake. So anyways, that's just kind of what's been going on up here over the last, not even just the last week, but like the last months, trying to build stuff, launching Uncut, right? Like that came with a lot of headaches, like trying to navigate that space, a space I've never been in, a space that no one I know has ever been in, and just bulldozing our way through it, up along the way, right? Like there's been some major issues with that platform, but like we, today we actually launched on Android. So thankfully, like, that's right. It only took like, what, a month and a half, isn't that long, which is crazy because that's not that long, but we literally built the platform in 3 weeks. So like, to me, I'm like, God, this is like an eternity, but those guys are awesome. Right. Those guys as business partners kick ass. So it's like picking and choosing the right guys. So before we get into it, because you and I talked a little bit about this and you're like, bro, you got to get on the podcast. You got to speak your mind. And honestly, I had no ambition to do this because here's the thing. What happened? Well, I would say what happened, but like the situation of hiring somebody or some people and then them either quitting or you firing them happens every single day. It's not that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal. Like people freak out when they don't see like somebody in my videos because like, we just parted ways. And it's like, we weren't married. We didn't file for divorce. It's not that big of a deal. You got to realize the demographic pool we're playing in are a bunch of, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, most of which are college dropouts trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. They take a risk, jump aboard my boat, and then realize, holy, this isn't what I want to do. And then they leave. That doesn't mean I was abusing them in my basement. Okay. It just means they realized they don't want to do the line, which is fucking fine. Like that's the whole point of life. There's no, like, I don't understand why people get freaked out. It's fine. That's part of life. It's going to happen. Like you either go to college because you know what you want to do, or you don't go to college / drop out because you don't know what to do. And you're going to try other avenues that college doesn't provide you. It would be no different than somebody signing up for, call it a film and marketing course. And then how many people do you know switch majors? I feel like every motherfucker I know switches majors.
A lot of people.
No.
What's the difference than somebody who's 20 years old switching a major, which is like the most common thing on planet Earth and no one bats an eye at it, versus a 20-year-old going and working for somebody at a super unconventional job that doesn't have normal 9 to 5, that doesn't have like a checklist of things to do. You're just kind of expected to roll with the flow, like do whatever you're asked to do it well, try to make as little mistakes as possible. Like, and then realizing that's not for them and then dipping out. Like, to me, I'm like, what is the difference? Everyone makes such a big deal about it. And, you know, the reason why I'm telling you this is like, I didn't think what happened was a big deal. Did not. Like, it happens. It's not a big deal. It's what happened after it happened is what made me say, you know what? I wouldn't mind going on the podcast just to explain my point of view. And that doesn't mean it's right, but I will say I've got lots of screenshots and receipts to back the statements I'm going to make. Okay. So I'm not just I'm not speaking opinion. I'm not saying like, oh, I think these guys were blank or whatever. I'm going to just, once I get into the story, I know this is a big hype up, but like, I just want you guys to understand where I'm coming from here. I'm going to literally tell the story based off of facts, screenshots, stuff that I can send you, or like key eyewitnesses that could vouch for me in this situation. Okay. So, but basically what happened, just the reason why I'm here is because essentially, long story short, had a couple guys come work for me, didn't work out. They went home, no big deal. And I'll get into it. But the problem is they went home. Okay. They went home and, you know, told their friends and family what happened. And, you know, their perspective was different than mine because we are different people. And I was playing the role of, you know, employer and they're playing the role of employee. The problem is when I started posting about finding somebody new, right? Now I'm looking for remote guys only because no offense, kind of at the point where I'm just good with the crew that I've got. They're all more than capable of pointing a camera at me when we kill ducks and deer. The hardest part of what we do is an editor. So I'm like, I just need a badass remote editor. He can live in his, you know, his house, his apartment, wherever on this planet. I don't care. As long as he's good, gets his work done on time. Sweet. That's an easier relationship to develop than moving somebody across the country and doing all that. So I'm like set on doing remote editing. Camera guy wise, banjo can hold a camera. Some of my farm hands can hold a camera. I got tons of guys around me that love to hunt, love to hold cameras. And it's not that hard. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. But when I started posting, looking for remote editors, which was just a couple of days ago, I'm going through and people are going to comment with, oh, Flair's just abusing all these guys, man. He keeps losing, like, you know, everyone's around their mouth. I'm like, yeah. You guys don't understand the story. And I don't care to share the story. I don't care. It just happens. Y'all got to realize as adults, like, it's going to happen. The problem is people they knew, and I'm not naming names or digging at anyone, but people they knew went on there and were commenting like, not to work for me, how I don't pay a livable wage, and like I'm a dickhead, and like all basically like trying to discourage people from working with me. Which is it going to work? Is anyone that's like seriously considering the job gonna be like, you know what? I don't know. Jim Bob 6'9" said Flair's a douche, so I don't know if I should apply. Like, probably not. But it was just the fact that now I know exactly what happened when they got home. They went and told a story that, in my opinion, wasn't 100% true, wasn't the facts. And now we've got guys who are, you know, slandering me, you know, defamation, all these other things about me and like the workplace I have.
Oh my gosh.
Discouraging people from working with me, which again, no big deal. Dude, I've got, and I'm appreciative of this. I'm not saying this like I take it for granted and whatever, but like I have hundreds of well-qualified editors in my emails right now. I'm in talks, hundreds, meaning like, I'm not worried. I've got a guy coming in Thursday. I got a guy coming in Saturday. I got a guy coming in next Thursday. Like, I've already got 3 dudes coming in before Christmas that want this job, who are hungry for it, who are going to film, edit. They understand it's not a 9 to 5, whatever. So I'm not worried about it. But what I wanted to do was clear the air on what actually happened and tell my side of the story, again, using facts and everything else like that. And then I'm not telling anyone to not think I'm a dude, like a jerk, a douche, or whatever. Like, y'all can still think that I am after this conversation. The goal is not to convince you guys of anything. It's just tell the story and you guys can be the judge and be like, damn, yeah, Flair is really kind of a dick. Or I don't know, he didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. Okay. So again, setting it up. One more thing before I get here.
All these caveats, you got me worried, man. What the hell happened?
One more thing. nothing about this is personal to the two guys that came in. Okay. I wish them nothing but the best. And I even text them this after the fact of this whole thing. Nothing but the best, person to person, friend to friend. These dudes were great. They were fun to hang out with. They were great on camera. Like, we had a great time. The few weeks we spent together was sick. When it came to the work side is where things got shaky, which happens. It's like working with your best friend or working with a family member. Everyone always says, don't work with family, right? You may love the person, but you don't like. So nothing against them. This isn't personal attacks on them. I'm not going to go into depth on like, them as humans. They were super nice individuals and it didn't work out. And I wish we could have just like parted our ways, maybe relinked in 6 months, went and caught some fish together and asked each other how life was. Like, that's what I do with Zach. That's what I do with Pool Jet. Like, I still talk to all the guys I used to work with. Like, there's no bad blood, but the way that it went down in the last 24 hours of their time here is what made me go, yeah, they don't care about me or my business or anything else, and did what they, basically what they could to kind of screw me over in a sense. Okay. So it's nothing on them personally. Super nice guys, like the guys. Business wise, we just didn't see eye to eye. No problem. Don't see any problem. So I'll just start off with this.
Christmas is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're thinking about what you want in that stocking. What do you want under that tree? And we have thought the perfect gift for your fellow anglers, or even yourself, a juicy mystery tackle box. I've worked out a pretty great deal for you guys for a 12-month subscription. Use code AFTERDARK for 20% off your first 1-year subscription. That's basically getting 4 months, 4 boxes for free. If you love that mysterious feeling of cracking open a Christmas gift on Christmas morning and seeing what's inside, then you'll love Mystery Tackle Box showing up to your door every single month. There'll be a link in the top of the description. Make sure to click it, check it out. Now back to the show.
So far, any questions? Have I lost you guys here?
I think I got an idea. You good?
I'm just really anxious right now.
Yeah, Badge is over there. He's so nervous because he knows there's something crazy coming.
No, it's not that crazy. It's just, again, it's one of those things like, I don't appreciate people running around like calling me a dickhead when I don't think I was a dickhead, and most of the guys I talk to aren't. And I'm just like, I kind of want to clear the air. So let's see if I can get this. Here's what I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read you the DM from one of the, and I'm gonna keep it someone not like one of the two people. I'm gonna read the DM from them applying for this job, and that will set the stage for everything. That'll set the expectations in the stage. Okay. So
all right,
let me look up this DM real quick, just so you understand where I thought we were at on this. So he DMs me. First DM he ever sent me. Hey Andrew, my name is blank. I would like to send over an offer to work for you. My best friend blank and I are a photo, video, and edit team. Okay, so they're applying, him and a buddy, which I thought was great. I'm like, sweet, 2 guys. Every other guy that I've worked with seems to get pretty burnt out, which totally get. They're gonna split it up, and we'll be able to crank out twice as many videos or whatever, right? We would be willing to split a salary to work together and help you create the best content possible. We currently film for our own brand, just telling me like they've done some stuff in the past. They shoot like weddings and senior photos. Great. Perfect. Awesome. That's great. With the 2 of us for the salary of 1. Remember that sentence. Okay. remember that sentence. With the 2 of us for the salary of 1, we will be able to be the best cinematic and engaging footage and videos you've ever had. Our style is very similar to Bryant Patterson, which is, Backwater Bryant.
Yeah.
And Alex Blackwell, which is John B's camera guy. Okay. Right there, fucking massive stretch to compare the 2. I just throwing that out there. They didn't do awful work. Just that's big shoes to fill, right? We all know that. Those guys are something else, right? Yeah. But we bring fun and energy to the videos. We will fit your style. We're both willing to live the full send lifestyle and get our foot in the door in the outdoor industry. We're hungry to be the best and won't put forward anything less than that. If you're interested in our talents, I have a proposition for you. Blank and I will fly out on our behalf for a full week, no risk.
Wow.
We will film and edit your YouTube videos, and if all goes well, we can work on details moving forward. Something about blank and I is we always finish what we start. Fucking remember that sentence too.
I don't know about that, Jimmy.
Remember that one. Never do we give up. It's cliche, but we give 110% in everything we do. We love the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. They send over their age, they went to filming school, prestigious filming schools, all these things, previous work, whatever. So sounds great, right? Sounds like we hit a home run. I was like sick. 2 dudes, hungry for it, eager for it, young. They love to fish. They love to hunt. They're looking for the opportunity. They'll split a salary, so it's not going to cost me any more money. And in fact, they'll fly out on their own behalf, no risk to me. So I DM them back and get on a phone call and kind of talk to them and was like, are you guys really sure this is a grind? Kind of just try to let them know what's going on. Yeah, for sure. When can you guys fly out? They're like, tomorrow. And I'm like, I love it. I love the energy. Like they had the energy that I loved. I'm just like, dude, yes, I'm the type of guy who will drop everything for the right opportunity. And when I see somebody else do that, I'm like, sweet, you and I are going to see eye to eye. We're entrepreneurs. We all have that same personality where you'll drop everything, right? So sweet. They didn't fly out the next day. They flew out I think the day after that though. Credit to them. They flew out right away. They dropped everything they could, got out. So they had the right attitude coming into it. And that's what I really valued on this. We get into it. I don't know. We filmed for 5 or 6 days. I showed them the grind. I tried to show them this is not easy. You're waking up before sunrise to go kill ducks. You're hunting deer in the evenings. You're driving all day long. And then you're gonna have to go back and sort footage that night, put it into folders or whatever. And then as we kind of move along, one of you will stay back and edit. The other one will come with me the next day and film and then swap. So like in theory, if I'm posting 4 videos a week, they each film 2 and edit 2, right? Like Monday, Wednesday, one guy comes with me. Tuesday, Thursday, the next guy comes with me. It didn't work out that way because it was middle hunting season and we were super busy. But like in theory, that's the idea. They're splitting the work of one guy into 2. They should have plenty of time to get it all done. So I show them everything. They're like, sweet, we're going to go back home. So they go back home and it's like, you guys are down, right? Yeah, we're down. We're so down. I'm like, sweet. Do you guys want to move out here? Well, we can't pack our bags in time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what if I fly you out again? I really just needed somebody to film me like that week, right? Like middle hunting season. Yeah. Fly him out again. This is, and I didn't take them up on their offer of on their dime. I covered all of it. I spent like $4,000 on flights for these 2 guys, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Didn't do the whole like no strings attached, work for free for a week or whatever. Didn't do anything. I was like, no. I respect you guys. I'll cover it. You just show up ready to play ball, basically. Come back out for 3 or 4 more days and film. And it's like, you guys sure? You're sure you want this? Like, are you fucking sure? Because I'm about to invest a lot of money into the 2 of you. Are you sure? Yeah. 100%. We don't give up. We love this. This is great lifestyle. We grind. We're grinders. We love to fish and hunt. Okay. I was like, cool. I did what I did. I did what I could do. They go home and, they're ready to move, right? They're planning on coming back in a few days. They're going to move. They're going to drive their cars out to Nebraska and live. And I get a text from one of them and he's like, hey man, my car's not going to make it there. I drive this, kind of a beater car or whatever. I don't know what the situation was, but like he don't have a car that can drive across the country. And he sure doesn't have a car that can handle the gravel roads and the snow and living out in the middle of nowhere. You've been in my house. Your Prius ain't doing much out here. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So most people would have been like, fucking figure it out. Right. I don't know. Figure it out. I went that day to the dealership and bought a $40,000 truck for them to drive. Okay. 2019 Damn. Ram 1500, fucking new tires, 4-wheel drive. Because I wanted to make sure they had a reliable vehicle. If it's snowing and we want to go kill some shit, I want them to be able to show up. I wanted to show them that I'm just as invested in this as they are. I want to show that like when they have a need, I'll do what I can. If it means spend money, if it means spend time, if it means calling somebody and getting a connection, that was my way of being like, here you go. No, basically I told him, I'm like, just get here, fly here, carpool with your other buddy or whatever. Just get here. You guys have a truck with keys in it. It's all yours, fully insured. I'll cover all the gas in it. It's a work vehicle at that point, right? They're like, cool, sounds good, sweet. Yeah, I know. Right?
That's a sweet deal, bro. Me and Badge are thinking about a career change over here.
What's funny is I've talked to like a bunch of YouTubers over the last couple of days, and every single one of them's like, dude, if YouTube don't work out, I'll come work with you. And I'm like, listen, guy, it's not that bad, but everyone thinks it is. Everyone thinks it's bad. Anyways, so it was great. Not that big of a deal. And, they obviously need a place to stay, right? They need a place to stay. And the apartment that like Pool Jet and Zach had was up and expired, or Zach left it or whatever. And, neither one of them had like a solid employment. I think one of them just like worked for himself, and the other one, I'm not sure if it really worked much. Like they had on and off jobs, fast food places, like just the normal stuff, young guys, so just great. And, but I knew knowing they didn't have a solid job, that they wouldn't be able to get an apartment unless I wrote like an offer letter, basically, which I've done before. But it takes a while. It takes a process. I have to go inside. So while they're back home, I drove to an apartment complex and bought them an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, $1,500 a month. And I paid for the whole thing. I put the deposit down. I went and looked at it, made sure it was good to go, got it set up. I fully furnished it. TVs, couches, beds. Yes. Swear to God. TVs, couches, beds, everything. Literally, these 2 people have to show up, and they've got a vehicle to get around in, a place to sleep at night. I gave them an iMac. I gave them a desk. I gave them the whole editing setup. They literally just had to show up. Okay. I know, it's crazy.
How did these guys mess this up, Flair? What in the hell?
Okay, so they have everything. Literally, they don't have to bring a single camera. They don't have to bring a single hard drive. I have all the camera gear. I have all the editing gear. Trucks, cars. Literally, just show up, point the camera at me, go home, and edit. Like that's all you guys have. Basically, like I'm trying to make their lives as easy as possible. At like anything they need, boom, done. Like 100% ready to go. Right? Okay. So that goes on. It's great. They show up. We start banging out videos. We're going. No big deal. I will say they messed up a lot on the editing side. Like I've dealt with a lot of editors, and like on my side, Dugan's side, I mean, I've had, a dozen people come in for like 3 days, film for me and edit for me, and then leave, like totally strangers. And I've never seen the mistakes that these guys were making. Right. And it was super frustrating because I'm just like, man, holy shit. Like I was having to like lecture them on things I didn't even know I would have to lecture somebody on, right? So like
what kind of mistakes were they making, Flair?
So like for example, I have like a notes folder, like an iCloud notes folder that we have like all of our videos written down, right? Like tomorrow, spoiler alert on the one that's going out tomorrow, I'm posting a duck hunting with Braden Price, right? So it'll say, 12/7 Tuesday - Braden Price duck hunt. Like, and I have a whole list of every video I'm going to film in December. It's already scheduled out, exactly where it's going to go, whatever. So it's shared with them. They have access to all of it. So when they go home to edit, they edit the videos in order. Like, oh, tomorrow's video is this. Let's edit that video. Like common sense, super, super common sense. Yeah. One day they show up and they have like the video on an SD card and pop it into my computer to download it. And I'm like, oh, what video is this? And it's like a video we're posting in like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, you guys, I was like, oh, you edited this video? They're like, yeah. I was like, where's today's video? Oh, well, we must have edited the wrong video. And I'm like, okay, so you edited the wrong video. And so I'm kind of like going back, I'm like, okay, how did this happen? Like, how do you edit the wrong video? Well, then come to find out, like the night before, Austin called them about something and like asked them about that specific video. So like, long story short, they edited the wrong video during the day at like 6 p.m. They realized they edited the wrong video. Yeah. And proceeded to do nothing that night and then show up the next day with the wrong video. And I was just like, I'm scratching my head going, why wouldn't you guys just stay up late and edit that night? Like you realize you messed up. Fix it. Right. Like, and it's just one of those things where I remember I went into like the shop and was talking to Austin, like my dad works with me now. So I was talking to him too. And I'm just like, what do you do in that? You know what I mean? Like, how did I fuck that up? Like, how is it my fault that this happened? Like, whatever. And I was like, whatever. So I go in, sit them both down, and I'm just like, guys, this can't happen. Like, you guys got to like start paying attention more. I don't know what it is, but like, this was kind of a big mess up. You realize you messed up and then didn't take the opportunity to fix it. Like, to me, that's a huge red flag, right?
Well, and there's 2 of them too. There's 2 of them. So, I mean, you could have easily
doubled up on check
that.
One another, which I thought that was the case, and it didn't. Like another one, for example, he edits like a building the lake video, and like, this is simple stuff. You guys will understand it probably more than some of these viewers, but like you go out and film like a building video, right? And you give like, you vlog, and then you're like, cool, we're going to build this dock, right? And I haven't watched your dock videos, so I imagine it's probably something like this, where it's like, all right, guys, we're going to start building the dock. Stay tuned, right? Then it's going to go into like some B-roll and maybe some time lapse. And then you'll pick up the camera and be like, all right, so now we got the framing done. The next thing we're going to do is putting the planks on top, or the next thing we're going to do is like screwing the joist or whatever, right? Like you tell the story. So he's editing the lake video and I'm sitting there in the deer blind with him, watching this video. It goes up that night. And I'm watching it and it's like, I'm building a lake and he's showing drone and time lapse. And I'm like, damn, this is a long ass sequence. Holy shit. Like, you know, I would film like a drone and time lapse, give an update, drone and time lapse, give an update, drone and time lapse, give an update, like throughout the day.
Yeah.
I'm watching the drone and time lapse. The time lapse shows the sun setting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The first sequence shows the sun setting. The next clip is me vlogging going, all right, guys, so now he just cleared 2 trees. We're going to go start over there. And I was just,
like it just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And I sat there and I'm like, holy fuck, I definitely like blacked out for a second. I'm like tabbing back, watch it again. I'm like looking, I'm like, what part of that made sense? Right? Like this is like this, I feel like this is like super basic shit. Like what part of that makes sense? And like this kid kind of has the audacity to be like, well, it just like, it didn't really make sense. And like, I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell me after I filmed and edited 1,500 fucking videos over the last 10 years that you have anything to say other than I'm sorry and I fucked up. Shut the fuck up. Like, it was just one of those like audacity things. I'm like, oh my God, this kid, you cannot explain to me, you can't justify this. Just admit you fucked up and it's not that big of a deal, but you can't let this happen again. Right? Like, but it's one of those things. I was like, there's no way he just tried to convince me that I was like fucked up in the head. Like I could probably show you the fucking video and you'll be like, what's going on here? So I ended up calling the other guy who's at his house editing, right? Hey, can you fix this? And I had to explain it to him and he eventually got it and whatever. Sounds good. It's like 6 p.m. We're literally hunting right now, like deer hunting in a blind. He like does all these little changes, hits exports, hits upload. We're driving home and he's like, hey, video's up. It's like 8 p.m. now. I'm like, finally, like post, you know, trying to get it up.
Yeah.
Well, the original video that had the sunset is still up, but it's on private, right? You know, you guys know what this looks like. And then the next video is above it, right? When you're on your dashboard. So I hit publish on the new video. And then I look and they're right next to each other. There's like the messed up sunset one and then the brand new one. This one, the brand new one's 5 minutes longer than the one that was messed up. I never told him to add any footage. I just told him to rearrange the sequence. Where did the 5 minutes come from? Right? I'm just like, oh my God, what did you magically put in there? Now I'm like, it's public. I posted. I'm like, holy shit, what's out there? Not that like we do anything like illegal or sketchy, but you just never know like what's out there, right? Like, so I'm just like, so I'm like tabbing through these videos, so I take it off. I'm like, I can't have 5 minutes of unknown be out there, right? Like, I don't know what got shown, like addresses, fronts of houses, you know, the whole nine, like whatever. So I like delete it, take it down. I tab through it, and this motherfucker put a 5-minute black screen at the end of the fucking video. How do you even do that? I don't know. I don't know. Like, just like, bro, you knew we were in a time.
Dude, what the hell?
Dude, I messed up bad.
I was about to say, Badge has messed up before. Like, I always mess with him because at the end of his tenure with me, you know, there was a few things sloppy where he would leave in like an F word or something, or like
2 of them,
or 2 or 3 back to back, or like leave in a whole scene where I'm like yelling at some lady and like, or I'm cussing out some hypothetical lady, and I'm just like, dude, you left that in the video, but I don't think he's ever a 5-minute black square, like you said. How did that get in there? And then how did you not see it when you exported it? Like, there ain't no way.
The thing is like leaving in an F-bomb, like, dude, it's gonna happen. Like, I've had it happen. It's gonna be like, basically the mistakes they made are mistakes I had never seen in my life of doing this for 10 years. I've worked with a dozen editors, like shit that you couldn't make up. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay. So, you know, whatever. I basically just called him and I was just like, dude, I'm like, I feel like I'm constantly yelling at you guys. And you know me, I'm not that guy. I'm not a screamer. I'm not a yeller. I'm not a, like, but holy shit, you guys are driving me nuts. Like, I just am frustrated basically, like with myself and them, just trying to figure out I hate when I can't figure out a problem. Hate it. Like, I'm a problem solver. That's just how I am. So I can't figure out how to fix something. My head hurts. And it's like, how do you fix the problem when you didn't even know that problem could possibly even happen? Right. So stuff like that, like not editing stuff in order, and all that. And then like, you know, little stuff like showing up like 15 minutes late to film, and like, you know, I made it a huge point. Don't be late. I hate when people are late. And if you are, just text me, hey man, run a little late, like no big deal, whatever. But like,
Right.
don't be late. You know, if they show up like 15 minutes late and I'm like, hey, what's the deal? Oh, I took a shower this morning. Like,
that sounds
what?
like my 11-year-old stepson.
Dude,
like,
if I said that when I worked at
Oh.
Shields, like I worked at Shields right when I was 16 as a cashier. If I said that when I walked into Shields, they'd be like, dude, go take another one because you guys can go fucking home right now. Like that's what the response would have been. And instead I'm just like, okay, like try not to let that happen again. You know, I'm like, oh my God, like these guys, like they just don't care. They don't care. They have no respect, like whatever. So
yeah.
Those
Hold
are
on
kind
one
of all
second,
the.
Blair. Hold on one second, Blair. Hold on. Let us reset something real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, you can continue on, my friend.
Okay. So again, not here to like just absolutely destroy these kids. Like they were hardworking kids. Like, you know, I really liked them as a person, but just we're making a lot of frequent mistakes I've never seen before. And I was having to address things I had never had addressed before. And so that started to wear on me a little bit. Obviously, I'm like, damn, like, I don't know. Like basically, I'm just like, I don't know how long I can keep this up. And I was really trying to make it work because I thought at that point still they really wanted it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to let these kids down. I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep pushing and like, just give it some time and like, we can figure this out, right?
Right.
We can figure this out. So some time goes on, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, again, they kept messing some stuff up, little stuff here and there, big stuff here and there, whatever. To the point where I'm just like, man, they're not cranking the videos out as fast as I need them to. You know, they're like, I'll give them both like a weekend and, you know, I had different expectations than they had, which is totally normal. Like I have high expectations in general, totally get it. But I just wasn't overly happy. And so, you know, I remember I called Austin and I was like, dude, I don't know if I can like move forward with these guys. You know, I'm just like, dude, these kids are wearing me out. I'm so stressed, like on top of having a damn newborn, like I'm so stressed. And like, I could feel it. Like I could feel myself like not being like mentally healthy. For the first time in my life, I was like, my mental health is right now. Like I have never felt so just like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I've never felt that ever, never. And I'm just like, God, I don't know if I can do it. Like I'm better off just like editing my own videos and just like vibing and just like doing it. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I can't give up, whatever. So I called Austin and I was like, should I just like, you know, let these kids go, like, or whatever. And he's like, dude, just get through the year. Because I actually exposed this on your podcast the first time that I'm taking a break. So I'm not going to make any YouTube videos in January and February. I'm taking a 2-month hiatus, especially after this. Holy do I need it?
Oh, wow.
But 2 months of just MIA, get my shenanigans together, get the businesses together, build a content team, you know, instead of just hiring the first 2 kids who can show up. You know, hire a team, get, you know, really put the guys through the test in the off season. Like I'm going to send them multiple old videos, footage, and, you know, tell them they have 24 hours to turn it around. Like really just get some really talented guys in there, build a whole team, take a break. Cause like, I couldn't do that with these 2. Like they got in their defense, they got thrown into the busiest, you know, season, the fastest, I mean, the peak of a year, they got thrown in. So in their defense, they did get thrown into the fire. Did I expect them to do better? And do I think they could have done better? Yes. But you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. So anyways, yes, I'm taking a break and gonna get my shit together. But Austin was just like, dude, just get through December. You got like 3-4 weeks left. Just write it out. That way you're not stuck editing at night instead of, you know, hanging out with the baby or helping Macy around the house or whatever it is. Like just get through it. I'm like, okay, you're right. So I literally drove over to their apartment that same time, right after I got thrown to Austin, and sat down with them and just kind of talk about the week, talk about the plan, see what videos they had to edit that day because they had the day off to just edit. And I was like, all right, like, have you guys thought about money? Because at this point, I haven't paid them because they hadn't worked for a month yet. I pay everyone like at the end of the month or whatever. But we hadn't gotten solid on the pay. I'll put it this way. They knew what I paid my old camera guy. And they were willing to split that. Okay. I'll just go out and say it. I paid him like $50,000. Okay. I'll just go out there and put it out there. Cause the only reason why I told you that is because this will make sense later in the story. 50 grand, you know, to film and edit. So let's just split it 25 each. Keep in mind though, they've got a truck, they've got an apartment, they got food and fuel. Like, you know, they don't really have very many expenses. So I know 25 doesn't seem like a lot, but again, they are splitting the workload of one individual, which you 2 know what that is, especially Babs. Like you did it, you filmed, you edited. That's one guy's job. So same thing with Wes Davis and Bryant and Cam and all the other guys. Again, it's nothing new to have one camera guy, right? It's nothing new. It's one guy's work. So that's what they knew I paid my old guy that, but we had never like sat down and been like, all right, this is what you guys are gonna get paid. I wanted to pay them more. Like I was like, I want them to feel like they're important, like they, whatever. I want to feel good. So I sit down, like, if you guys thought about it, I literally was like, name your price. What do you guys think all of this is worth? You've seen it, you've gone through the works, you know what it's like. You're editing late at night sometimes, you're doing your thing. And they're like, we've never really thought about it, whatever, I guess, for now, we'll just keep it what it was before. And I'm thinking, cool, split the 50K. So me sitting back thinking, damn, I'm going to be a really good boss. How about this, guys? How about you keep the truck, you keep the apartment, you keep the food and fuel. If you add all that up, like the monthly truck payments, whatever, if you add all that up, it's like $35,000 a year. Just like the bonuses that they were given out the gate. How about I give you that plus $50,000 in cash, right? So like, you guys each get 25 to profit, basically. Like that goes directly into your bank account. It doesn't come out in the rent, doesn't come out in the insurance, doesn't come out in food or fuel. Like if food as in like when they're with me, I mean, they had to go buy their own groceries, but like if they're with me, I pay for their food. So it's whatever. So like, I'm over here thinking like, damn, they're going to be stoked, right? Like this is like $30,000 more than what they expected to get paid, right? Even though they have up on so many levels, and I was literally about to can them. I'm like, I'm just going to pitch it to them. Hopefully they can get their act together, whatever. And then I said, and here's the deal, guys. I am not going to be filming YouTube videos in January and February, right? Like I'm taking my break. I will still pay you this exact amount for those 2 months, but we're not going to be filming and editing. All I want you guys to do is maybe take some old footage, repurpose it. Let's make some TikToks. Let's make some reels. Let's do the shit that I don't have time for. Because right now I ain't got time to go, fuck around TikTok, right? Like I'm YouTube, next video. But like reality, I should be taking that footage and repurposing it onto a TikTok or a Facebook video. Like we've talked about Facebook videos too. Like I don't even dabble with any of that, right? So I was like, let's take 2 months to like learn Facebook. Let's learn Instagram Reels. Let's like YouTube Shorts. These are all things I've never messed with. But I'll pay you guys the same rate that I'm paying you right now to go grind 4 videos a week. Thinking, holy shit, basically they have to like wake up, yawn, edit a TikTok in like 45 minutes, and then they're done for the day and they get paid a $50,000 a year salary both. I'm like, again, super sweet deal in my opinion. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll think about it. I'm like, okay, it sounds, and that's when I was just like, dude, if you guys aren't cool with that, let me know. Let me know what you want. You tell me, I'm not selling you like, it's an open checkbook, but I want you guys to be happy. If you guys aren't happy, this won't work. So I'm like, what number makes you guys feel good when you go to bed at night, right? That whole thing. So I was like, sweet, see you guys in the morning. We're going to go edit, or they're going to go edit. I'm going to go home. And then tomorrow we're going to go trapping beavers or something. Like 2 hours go by. And like one of them texts me and he's like, hey dude, we talked it over. Can you jump on a call? And I'm like, sure. Like, I don't know why you don't want to just wait till tomorrow, but sure. Yeah. Stop. Hey man. Yeah. We talked it over and I don't think this is the right fit for us. And we're headed home. And I'm like, huh? What? Whoa. Yeah. No. We're out. And I'm just like, first I'm like, what? And then I was like, okay. I said, okay. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. No, I swear this is all true. And I was like, okay, like, I was like, all right. I was like, I think I was like speechless. I'm just like, damn, here I am thinking I'm like hero CEO. And they're just like, no, fuck this guy. And I'm like, oh, shit. I was just like, okay. I was like, so what do you want? I was like, obviously it's about money. You didn't just quit out of nowhere, right? Like, so I said, just what do you want? Nate, like at this point, name your price. I'll pay you whatever you want for November and December. And then you guys are probably fired in January because we're not going to do work anyways. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like if you guys want to get paid more for these next 2 months, instead of getting paid whatever I pitched them for 4 months and then leave and me fire you and you guys go home, if that's what you would rather do, I don't care. I don't care. It's not about the money. It's more of just like building a relationship and a partnership and able to grow and whatever. And they're just like, well, it's not really just the money. I'm like, oh, so what else is it? Like you just didn't really do a good job of like setting up the expectations and like, this is way too much work. And like, I've got a really expensive gym membership and I can't even go to the gym and I don't have time to go to Costco. And I'm just like, what are you talking? You had all day today, all day from sunrise to sunset and then some to edit one YouTube video that takes maybe 3 to 4 hours to edit. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, you've seen my videos. Holy shit, they're simple. I don't know if you saw the other day, I went on Uncut. I went live on Uncut. It was like yesterday or 2 days ago, just to prove a point. I went live while editing my squirrel video I posted yesterday. So I set up the camera And I live streamed start to finish an entire video that had the shot cam, had a GoPro, and a vlog, meaning I had to like match the audio to different videos.
Yeah,
you guys know how that all goes. That's what takes time, right? I edited an hour-long uncut video, exported it, and then trimmed it down to 45 minutes for YouTube, taking out the guts and the cussing and everything else, and exported it start to finish, 3 camera angles, all in one, a 45-minute YouTube video, an hour-long uncut, and 2.5 hours, and it's all on live stream. All on live stream. Meaning they don't have to edit that fast, but holy shit, if you can get within 4x of that, you're still having 10 hours for the rest of the day, right? Like to the point where I don't feel like I'm overworking these guys. There's 2 guys doing the work of one, and I've seen one guy do their job and do it better than them for years. Like Badge has done, everyone that has had one camera guy has done exactly what these guys are doing, right? So they're telling me like I had unrealistic expectations, and I didn't basically like let them know how much work it was going to be, even though I had flown them in twice, showed them like, I mean, I did everything I possibly could to like show these guys, holy, you're gonna have to grind for this, right? Just told them I'm gonna pay you guys basically full salary, and you get 2 months off. All I want you to do is get better at not fucking up on the things that you shouldn't be fucking up on to begin with, because you guys told me you were qualified for the job, and you clearly are not. Like, you clearly have never done this shit, or you wouldn't be making the mistakes of leaving black screens and editing the wrong footage in the wrong sequence in the wrong order. Like, if you've done this for a living or done this for 5 minutes, you wouldn't make those mistakes, right? So they came in underqualified. They should have been canned earlier, giving them opportunities, bumping up the pay, giving them trucks and apartments and everything else. These kids are 21 years old. And they're just like, no, like, I think we're out. Like, it doesn't matter what I pay them, they're out. I'm like, well, part of me was somewhat relieved, because I'm like, holy shit, great, now I don't have to fire them. Because I felt bad. I liked these guys. Like, as like humans, I liked them. They were nice. They were fun. They still are. And like, if they wouldn't have like fucked me real hard, like I would still be friends with them. But like, and we hadn't got to the fucking part quite yet. That we're still getting there. So anyways, it was just, I know this goes on and on, but that's why I was like, dude, this is podcast worthy, because it's just like, it's such a dynamic thing that went on, and it's about to get crazy. So they want to quit. Cool. So I said, can you guys just finish December? Don't leave me high and dry. I really don't want to how can I find a new camera guy when I don't want them to work in January and February? Because I don't want to have to pay an employee. You guys good?
No, yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to have to pay an employee in January and February when I'm not working. Like, that's just extra payroll costs that I don't want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to have to do that. And so, I told him, I was like, guys, I'm not gonna be able to find a new guy to work for 3 weeks and then go and like build any type of relationship with that guy. Can you guys just finish out can you just work for 3 more weeks? Right. And, and they're like, no, we can't, we're not working anymore. We're done. We're not going to give you 3 weeks. We're not going to give you a 2-week notice. We're not giving you anything. Like, they're done. They're not going to wake up the next morning and film the video we had talked about filming that evening. Like, they're done. They've made up their mind. They're done. And I was like, okay, can you at least just edit the 2 videos you already filmed? Okay.
Yeah.
They have 2, like, I think it was 2 deer hunting videos, 2 banjo shot a deer or something, 2 deer hunting videos. You had already filmed it. They already were there. So like, obviously if you were there to film it, editing's going to go a lot faster.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And so they go, yes. They go, we'll edit those 2 videos. I'm like, sick. Thank God. Okay, cool. Just edit those 2 videos. As far as tomorrow, but I don't care. Just edit those 2 videos. Let's wrap it up. Let's end it on a high note. I get it. It didn't work out. You guys had, different expectations than me. It's no big deal. It's fine. Like, if anyone's it's me. I've got a truck I don't want. I've got an apartment lease that I'm locked into that costs me $1,500 a month. Like, if anyone's in this deal, it's me. And I'm not even mad. I'm just like, okay, let's just finish strong. Like, I've broken ties with Zach and Pujek and Mindak, and like, we all talk and we're all still buddies. Like, it's nothing new. Still would like to be friends with these guys. They were super nice kids, whatever. They're like, sounds good. The thing is, only like one of the kids like did the talking most of like during like the hey, we're quitting phone call. Like, the other one didn't say a word. I didn't even know he was like really on the call. And so I texted him the next morning and I was like, hey man, not trying to convince you, like, you guys should go. Again, it's one of those things. If you're not happy, you should go, because it's going to show in the video. It's going to show. I don't want employees that aren't happy. I'll do what I can that I think is justifiable to make you happy. But if you're not happy, so be it. Right. I was like, hey, I'm not trying to convince you to stay, because I really don't want you to. Like, but I asked him, I said, can could you call me? Because you didn't say anything last night. Like, it was your other buddy talking. Could you call me and just tell me what's going through your mind? Like, I want to learn from this, right? Like, according to them, I fucked something up, right? I thought I was doing the nice things, buying them the things they couldn't afford to make their lives easier. You know, I'm sure I was hard on them when they would mess up, but they were making mistakes again that they should not be making. Like, there's no excuses in my opinion. I know what mistakes should be made. Leaving a in a video is a common mistake. Leaving a 5-minute segment, editing the wrong video and editing the wrong sequence is not a mistake that should be made. Like, it's straight up just lack of attention to detail and laziness is really all it is. And so I was just like, I'm trying to learn. I want to hear, like, what didn't you like about this? What could I have done better? Or what could I do better next time? What can I tell the next candidate of what you guys went through? So they can either say yes or no. So that, because like, you guys are telling me you're leaving because the pay, which I offered them whatever they want, and they still never gave me a counter. So I'm like, I don't really think it's pay 100% of the thing. And then 2, you know, they basically said, like, I have unrealistic expectations. And so I'm like, tell me what those are then, right? His response to me, and I have this all in text. His response to me is, busy editing your video. So remember, this is the next morning after they quit. This is the next morning after I asked them to finish the videos. He texts me and says, busy editing your videos, trying to get them wrapped up quick. I'll call you when I'm done. Sounds good. So on this day, both of them, you know, they each take one video, right? Banjo's deer and a different deer video or something. And they're supposed to edit that all day long. After that, they can do whatever they want. They're not going to come and film. They're not going to come and do anything else. So I didn't hear from them all day. I never got a phone call, never got a text, Snapchat, nothing from any of these guys. Nothing. Like 6 p.m. rolls around. And I'm like, hey, could you upload today's video? So the video that was going up that day was supposed to be edited like 3 days ago. It wasn't the video they were working on. It was a different video, right? Can you edit? Hey, can you upload today's video? Like, haven't seen it. Just want to, like, make sure we're still on track or whatever. Again, they're in their apartment. They're editing the 2 videos left and then they're gone. He texts me back and says, hey man, left a few hours to go back home. It's on the hard drive. They left. They're gone.
Oh,
they told me they were editing my video and they were on the road. Like, they were like, yeah, dude, just like, it didn't make any. I was like, what? What are you talking? So I was like, so you didn't edit the 2 videos you said you would edit? And they're like, no. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
why would you say it? Just say no.
Just say no. So the whole day, dude. So the whole day I'm sitting at my house or filming or whatever I was doing. And in my mind, these 2 kids are like grinding out these last 2 videos and are going to end it on a high note. Meanwhile, they're going down the interstate, booking it back home, saying Flair. I'm just like,
that is fantastic, man. Those dudes were just like, they were about the full send lifestyle. All right. Just full send fuck Flair over.
So remember the sentences I told you to remember, right?
Yeah.
Splitting the salary, we grind, we put in 110% work, we're the full send lasso, we don't give up. Remember all those? Okay, where the is that now, right? Like, I was like, dude, you guys.
Dude, the best part, the best part is the 2 videos. I think that's the best part of the whole thing.
It's so weird.
Because you were just like, that was a small victory. You know what I mean? Like, okay, at least I got the tomorrow's video done. And it turns out, nah, you ain't even got that.
They're on the road. Like, turns out they're on the road. Like, joke's on me.
Turns out
they're flying down the interstate. Right? So
busy.
So I'm like, so then I'm starting to think. So I'm reading the text right now to make sure I'm not missing anything. So he was just telling me like, hey, it's on this hard drive or whatever. And I was like, did the other videos get edited then or what? And I was like, can you call me? I was like, understand you guys wanted to get out of there, but I have absolutely no clue where you left off. Like, I don't know where my footage is. I don't know where it's edited. If it's edited, what hard drive it's on, what SD card it's on. Like, I'm talking about a half a dozen videos. I have no idea where any of it is at this point. None. Like, no clue whatsoever. And I was like, is the apartment unlocked? Is my truck still there? Did they steal my truck? Like, so I'm driving. So I go drive to the apartment and it's like, my truck's there. The apartment's unlocked. The couch is there. The TV is there. Both beds are there. They have fucking Christmas trees everywhere. There's Christmas lights hung up on the ceiling of every single room. Like, it looked like the North Pole when I walked in that bitch. But like, and it's gone. They literally grabbed like their bed sheets off of like one bed, their clothes and their computer and stuck it in their like Ford Focus and drove and like left all my shit everywhere else, left whatever else they brought. Like, They bought a bed, left it. Like, it was like, they were like, you ever seen those shows like Escaping, like, you know, one of those cult shows or something where they like have to sneak out in the middle? That's how I felt. And I was like, holy shit, was I that bad? Like, was it really that bad working here? I feel like I wasn't that bad. And they up and left. So I have no idea where anything is. There's like a pile of SD cards and a pile of hard drives in the apartment. And I'm like, me, all right, like, I guess I'll go, you know, edit it myself or kind of go through it and do all that shit. I mean, I ended up sending him a text after that, just being like, you know, basically after all I did, you guys couldn't even give me 2 weeks, let alone 2 days worth of like, hey, we'll let you find somebody. Peak hunting season with a newborn at home with footage already filmed. You guys are like, nah, dude, we're out. Like, I said some, I was just like, man, I thought I hired some real heads in the past and you guys took shithead to the next level I didn't know existed. So I texted him. I'm just like,
yeah, that's a new level.
Just holy fuck, we were this close to like just being friends and moving on with life. It's not that big of a deal what happened. Like, they weren't out anything. I paid for it all. Like, they basically had a free vacation to come kill ducks and deer. Like, that's basically what it came down to. And like, but they just like crashed and burned and blah, you know, the whole thing basically fucking collapsed. And to the point where I was just like, holy shit. Like, and they wouldn't call me, wouldn't respond to text, left me on red. Like, have not heard from them since. It's like the mystery that'll never get solved. It was like, where any of my shit is, what to do, whatever. So I ended up like going back, getting all the SD cards, popping in there. Even I was working on it today. I don't have a single video. So like the videos that are on YouTube that they edited, which was like 10 of them, I don't know what it was. They're nowhere to be found. The copies of the videos they're not on any of the hard drives. They're not on any of the SD cards. So like the last 10 YouTube videos I've posted are fucking gone. They're nowhere to be found. Nowhere. Have no idea where they are. They vanished.
What?
So that I have no copies of them. And I've no like the footage.
Were they just deleting them after they uploaded them?
I don't know. I was like, how did basically I'm like thinking, what did they export them to? The only thing I could think of is they exported it to their desktop and then took their computer with them. That's the only thing I can think of. Right. So I have no copies of my shit. I have no idea where anything is. Nothing was organized. Like, these were the type of kids, we'd go film for 4 days on 4 different SD cards, whatever. And you would click on the hard drive that I gave them and it would just say SD card 1, SD card 2, SD. And it would have like 5 different videos, all in the same folder, long lens, GoPro, vlog camera. Like, I was like, no wonder it took them 8-9 hours to edit a vlog, is because half of it was just organizing the footage, that if they just did it for 30 minutes the night before, we wouldn't have the problem. So like, I spent all day today and yesterday literally dissecting the fucking shit show they left me on the hard drive, looking for footage for the 2 videos, and I haven't found half of it.
Dude, you might as well just take the L on those videos, man. They just may never make.
They're never gonna see the day of light of day. It's just not gonna happen.
Jeez. Dude. What? So do you? Okay, but like now when did all this happen? When did all this happen?
I mean, I was looking through footage today, so this would have been like, they left on Wednesday.
Damn.
Last Wednesday.
So do you think, now that it's been a few days, like, what do you think it was? I mean, just the workload? Like you said, it couldn't have been money because the situation was too good, right? Yeah. I mean, it had to be the workload, or, I mean, but...
Dude,
there was 2 of them. That's what I can't get over. Dude, there's 2
weird.
of you. That's
weird.
So easy, man. Just do it and take turns, man. That'd be so easy.
There was some... I'll just put it this way. I'm not going to go into details again. I'm not trying to like cause drama with these guys at all. There was definitely stuff that was happening like back home and behind the scenes that had some pulls that I'm not going to talk about on here because I don't want to, again, my job right now, I'm not trying to like, just roast these kids. Like, I'm just explaining the story from my point of view. There was stuff that they were doing that could have led to this in different ways where I think like the shock of only getting paid $25,000 in cash on top of everything. Like, I think that one of them, here's the thing is, I don't think they communicated that well. One of them was perfectly okay with it and the other one was not. And the one that was not was kind of like the dude who like called the shots, is what it kind of seemed like, I guess. And that's why I like texted one guy who I thought was fine with it and just wanted to talk to him. Like, hey, what's your point of view? Like, was this really that bad, or is he exaggerating, or am I really that big of a shithead? Like, just want to know what because like one person's opinion doesn't mean everything, you know, it's good to hear it, whatever. But I think he had some stuff on his plate back home that he maybe didn't quite tie up. Both of them did. The one thing I totally forgot to mention on top of some of this stuff is one of them was still in school, which was fine. I didn't really care. Like, I guess, like, I don't know how you do that. Like, it wasn't online, but he wasn't there. So I didn't ask questions really. Like, they handled it, let them do their business.
What the hell?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But here's what I do know. I'll pull up the text here. The day that I didn't even tell you guys this either. There's so much. I basically, long story short, I spent like 2 hours reorganizing their hard drive. This was like a week ago. I had them sit next to me and I showed them, you know, make a folder called vlog camera, make a folder called long lens, make a folder called GoPro time lapse, GoPro head mount, and like I'm telling this to you guys and you guys are like, yeah, no shit. What the else did you do? But this is like 3 weeks in, I had to show them how to do it because like, turns out they didn't know how to do it or they just weren't doing it. I'm not saying they were like incompetent enough to do it, but like they weren't doing it. So I'm like, guys, this is not optional. I'm not giving suggestions. This is how you have to edit footage and order and organize, whatever. So I spent 2 hours, you know, basically roasting them on how to organize it. And then we found out that same day they didn't dump an SD card because they take the SD cards home, right? And then they dump them, they organize them. They didn't dump one a whole day. We deer hunted an entire day. They didn't dump it and they lost the fucking SD card. So like a video's gone, vanished, gone. So that's when I was like,
shoot a big deer?
You can't do that. Like,
did you shoot a deer in that video that they lost?
I didn't think if I did, they would not have
thank God.
I did.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
But like, still, it was still a vlog. Like, it was still a good video, like great footage. And they lost it. So that was when I like sat them down. I'm like, guys, you can't do this. Let me look at your hard drive. Let me see if I can find it in there. And then I realized, holy shit, they're putting like 5 days worth of deer hunts of 3 different videos under one folder and calling it like deer. And I'm just like, oh my God, you guys cannot do it. So I sat there for 2 hours, showed them how to do it. Like, again, I shouldn't have to do that. They should be gone that day back home and I should be finding somebody else. But I'm like, I'm going to do what I can just to train these guys, even though they came in telling me they were well-trained completely. It'd be like just, you know, basically when you show up at the job, like super unqualified is basically what it is. I'm taking upon myself to take 2 hours out of my day. I missed a brand deal. I couldn't film the brand deal that night and they canceled it. So it cost me thousands of dollars, but I was like, whatever, who cares? Get through with it. The same night that I had them sit down and, you know, basically like, guys, kind of one of those like, guys, this can't fucking happen anymore. Like, you guys know better than this. You guys need to listen. Like, I feel like I children, like you guys, you know, all this thing. This is what the kid texted. So they just got their ass kicked. They're like, you know, looking like sad puppy dogs. Like, okay, we'll do better. We'll do better. We'll do better. Okay, sounds good. I trust you guys. Come on, fist bump, you know, the whole nine. They go home. This kid texts me an hour later after getting his ass kicked and goes, yo, we've been killing it recently on the filming, but I haven't had a chance to get my school projects done. Is there a possibility we can slow down this week so I can focus on that? I'll only need until Saturday. This is Monday. So he just texts me after getting his ass kicked saying, I need the whole week off for school. Okay.
Yeah.
What would Lojo say to this kid in this situation?
Well, especially the timing of it's not great anyways, because you just got your ass chewed, but a week off for school, man. It's just like, well, I just keep going back to the fact there's 2 of them, you know, it's like freaking,
it's so weird because whenever I took the job to work for Lojo, like part of that was I needed to drop out of school. And that was like the deal. And I had 1 semester left of college. Like I was 3.5 years in. And it was like, if you want it, you got to want it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
yeah.
100%.
So
I would say most employers that hire people that have worked now for about 2 weeks would probably not give you a week off, right? Like that's not normal. I'm not like an expert on hiring people, but I feel like 99% of jobs would be like not happy, right? So the kid asked for a week off basically, right? After working for only 2 weeks, messing up the entire way through, having to get their hand held, getting ripped, whatever. Most people, I feel like most people would just be like, that's tough. You probably should have dropped out of school or whatever. I said, after again, ripping them going through this would have been Monday and they left Wednesday. So this was 2 days prior to this whole thing collapsing. I said, yeah, man, you're good. As long as you can edit some tomorrow, me and blank should be able to handle it. Shouldn't be an issue. Like, meaning
Right.
I know damn well that means Andrew Flair's editing that week, right? Even though I have 2 guys and I didn't tell him I wouldn't pay him. I'm still going to pay him the same rate, but I know damn well I'm now editing this week after everything I've been through, peak season, everything in the middle of building a house, building a pond, having a newborn at home, everything. I knew, yep, cool. That means I'm editing this week, but I'm still going to pay him the same salary. That's what I responded to him. That was 2 days before they quit. So I'm just like, I don't know what else I could have done to accommodate for their fuck ups and their lifestyle to fit within mine for them to just basically in the middle of the night, leave all my footage scattered, not edit what they told me they were going to edit, nothing, gone, vanished.
Dude, what the hell?
It's weird,
Dude,
man.
we would have took that job. Me or Badge would have took that job at this point. I mean, Jesus, we could have just been like, look, man, I got to take the week off, dude. I'm sorry. And you're just like, all right, fine. Man, I can't believe you gave him that much of a leash, man. That is shocking that after all that, they still walked.
I tried so fucking hard. Like, I had never tried so hard to like, just keep, again, like, let's just get it through December. Let's just get through December. Like, I know they just edited the wrong vlog and and now I'm like not going to get the ad done tonight. Like, but let's just, like, it's just one thing after another. It's just like, oh my God. So yeah, anyways, that's what my last 3 weeks of life have been. Right there.
When you texted me the other night, I was like, oh shit. Just the way you had written the text, and it was very long. I was like, oh shit. I was like, something just happened big. Yeah. That's not what I was imagining at all, though. I just thought maybe like, I don't even know what I thought, but that's just, dude,
it's weird, man.
What in the world? That is like a dream job for so many people. There's so many people like listening to this, watching this, this is a dream job. Not only a dream job, just to be like a cameraman editor for you.
Yeah.
But the accommodations that you had made and the as flexible as you were being, it just sounds to me like they didn't want to work, dude. Like, to me, that's what it sounds like. At the end of the day, they just didn't want to, like, really, like they said, they're all about the grind lifestyle, but that is the grind. You know what I mean? And
I still think they were about that, man.
To their credit, it was a grind. I'm not denying that it wasn't, but I'm also not saying that I didn't, give them, in my opinion, enough time, like days off to edit. Like whenever I work with Zach or Bojet, and they would have a day off, meaning like, hey, we're not doing anything. Like, I would tell them they need to edit 2 to 3 videos that day to just get caught up for the week. And they would do it. And like, I would tell these guys they had to edit 1 video each on a day. And they like, they literally told me, they're like, that's just unreasonable. I'm just like, how? It took me 2.5 hours the other day. Like, dude, you could get up at 6 a.m. and be on your way out the door at 9 a.m. and have anything you want to do that day. You can go ride fucking go-karts for 12 hours straight, and it's still like, I don't know. I just couldn't figure it out.
Man.
Couldn't figure it out.
Me and him were talking about this. Me and him were talking about this earlier. It's like, or me and somebody, it's like, a lot of people just look at this YouTube lifestyle and they just kind of assume that we just mess around and like, there's not a lot of time or effort that gets put behind it. But like you said, Badge knows very well. I mean, that editing grind, dude, like we're pumping them out. I mean, you're editing a video a day, or else I don't know who the hell you are, but I mean, unless you're making a feature film, it should not take you more than a day. You know what I mean?
No. One video a day is like the most relaxed. And that's just what's crazy is like these kids kind of have the mentality of like that, like I'm hiring them for a position that I've never been in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it's like. And it's like, motherfuckers, for 5 years, I did it by myself through high school, through college, working a part-time job, starting Guggen Squad, doing Guggen weeks. I had 3 weeks in a month instead of the 4 because one of the weeks was spent down in Texas every single month during the come-up years. Like, so I had to post 3 to 4 videos a week, and I only got 3 weeks to fucking do it. And I edited and filmed all on my own while going to school. Don't tell me the word grind. Do not tell me the word grind. Okay. And how I know I set you guys up, the pay you got, the compensation, the accommodations, everything. I'm like, dude, I don't know how I could have done it any better. I try to learn from every situation that I'm in, whether I'm right or wrong. And I'm like, I am not sure. I can't put my finger on, Oh, you dumbass. You should have done that. I hadn't figured it out yet. It's the ultimate fucking riddle. Like, what could I have done different? I don't know. I have no idea. No.
Dude, I really hope these guys appear at some point in time and like not even like their side of the story, but I would like to know like what their thought process is. I really hope that they say something, or I hope they say something to you eventually, obviously, but I don't know, man. That's
Again, I don't
this
need
is
any.
so hard to understand. It's just really hard to understand the behavior. I don't get it, man. It's like it doesn't seem to be the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I'm like on a personal level, the kids are great. Like again, I was just like, okay, you know, this is gonna put me in a bind, but like, dude, we can still be friends. Like, hell, we can go, you know, you guys can fly in next summer and we can go film a video and, you know, reconnect like I've done with everyone. Like on a personal level, they're fine. But it's just like when it came to basically they let business get personal is what they did. Whatever frustrations they had in the business, they took out on me personally. But then the frustrations I had with them regarding the business, which was fucking, the list goes on. Like I've told you, at the end of the day, I put all of it to side. And I was like, you guys are fun to hang out with. Like, wish you guys nothing but the best. And like, after all that, I'll even read you the text I sent them after they basically were like, hey, we're headed home. You're fucked, essentially, right? You know, I went on and on saying like, I went on and I was just like, I was just like, honestly, I can't believe you guys would do this. Like, you didn't even give me 2 weeks, let alone 2 days. You just bailed on me after I trusted you. You know, kind of went through the whole thing of just like, this is how I'm feeling. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I said, let's see. I understand y'all wanted to leave quickly, but leaving me high and dry after I've done literally everything in my power to make this work for y'all, and it didn't work out. And I said, it didn't work out. It's no big deal. That's life. It happens. Like, no, you know, I wasn't super worried about it. I was like, but the way you guys went about it was super disrespectful, and you're not going to get anywhere in life by burning bridges like this. And y'all fucking torched this bridge. Like, just letting them know this, if like, I don't care if you work with me, but if you go build a relationship with somebody else, it doesn't have to go down in flames like this. Just literally cut your ties and wish each other the best. It's like they treated it like a breakup, and I like cheated on them. And it was just like, oh, I'm going to slash his car and, you know, key his car and like everything else. Like, it's like, but it didn't have to be like that though. Like, it really wasn't that big of a deal. And so I said, as a friend, this isn't a way to conduct business. I know you guys are young and hungry and anxious to crush it in life, and you have a lot going on and a lot on your mind. I said, but this was a major fuck up on your part in how this was handled, and it's not okay. I said, I thought you guys were mature enough to handle this like adults and communicate properly so no one got and we can all move forward in our separate ways. Super selfish the way you guys went about this in regard to me and my business after, again, I've done everything I could to help you guys out with anything you need. I don't know what you guys are dealing with back home. I hope you and your families are safe and healthy, and y'all figure out what your next venture is, and I hope it's crazy successful. Wish you guys nothing but the best for y'all, whether you work with me or not, but just want to let you guys know I did not appreciate the way you handled this so immaturely, and I hope you handle your next partnership with someone better than you did with this one. Drive safe. That is what I ended it, and they left me on Reddit and did not respond. I'm like,
there you go. That pretty much sums it up, though. There's not really much they can say in that scenario to make themselves seem less in the wrong, I guess. I mean, barring, we don't know what's going on back home. We don't. So, I mean, obviously, I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
Again, I'm sure there's some stuff, but it wasn't a coincidence that we talked about money and then within 12 hours, they were back home. Like, that clearly had something to do with it. But I can literally go through the text of being like, okay, if you guys don't like the offer of $83,000 package of the truck, the apartment, the food, the gas, and the salary pay, $84,000. If you aren't cool with that, what works for you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, but they were just like, it's not just the money, it's the work too. And I was like, so you guys are just out? Yeah, we're just out. Okay, well, I tried. And like, I don't know. Like, that's basically all there was to it. Was just yeah.
That is just. What is your reaction, Badge? This is you came from this position. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I feel like Badge, you need to weigh in because I promise you grinded harder than these motherfuckers, and I don't even know what grind you had, but I promise you did. I promise you did because I know how hard Lojo works, and I know how much output you guys did. I know you worked harder than that. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's like the it's just I'm about to sound like I'm 85 years old when I say this, but I feel like a lot of college kids are just entitled, man.
Hey,
You know what I'm
said
saying?
it,
Just
not
like
me.
that age
You said
range.
it, not me.
I'm just because like when you're in college, man, I remember being in college, and I don't mean any hate. If anybody's watching this is in college, I hope you freaking finish your degree and go get whatever you're getting.
Right,
But
right.
there was just people I would meet, and I remember guys telling me, like grown dudes, like 20, 21, they're like, yeah, man, we're going to finish our first 2 classes, and then we're going to get our midday nap in and then go to Starbucks to study. I'm like, we're 20 and you're taking naps, man.
Right.
You know, like I feel like there's just a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like college is good. I'm not trying to say it's bad by any means. I don't want people to take that, but it just sounds like they were entitled, dude. Because that's when you hear 25 a person, you might think that doesn't sound like a lot for the workload. But then when you think, okay, that's a truck, that's gas, that's rent, like
yeah. And like Flair said, the connections you're making, the people you're meeting, and the career that you're able to build.
That's
through
the thing that I don't get is like, I don't mean to be like kissing your cheeks up, man, but you're like the top of the top. You know what I'm saying?
Right. A job for Flair would go a long way.
Oh, jeez, you're making me blush. You're making me blush.
But like, dude, I quit everything to work for Lojo, who had, you know, this position.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. I just don't know how much a degree is worth if you're already working at the top of an industry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir, buddy. I promise you, we're thinking the same thing. It's like, you know, they told me in that first DM I read you between us that they want to get their foot in the door in the outdoor industry. They like to film, they like to edit, they like business, and they like the outdoors. I am not sure there's a position out there besides one similar, I'm not saying like I have the best position, but similar to mine, meaning Lojos or anyone like any other like YouTuber. I don't think there's a position out there on this fucking planet that's gets you in the door in the right direction and fills your head full of knowledge you can't pay to get at any university on this planet. I promise you, there's not a university on this planet, there's not a college on this earth that can teach you the things you would learn by sitting shotgun during a business meeting that we have. Yeah, I promise you, because you see it at ground level, the reality of it. Like, I remember taking marketing classes in college, and these motherfuckers are talking about newspapers and shit. And I'm just like, all right, I'm out. And I dropped out. I was like, y'all are dumb as shit. I thought I wanted a marketing degree, and you guys have no idea what's going on. But like, you have an opportunity to ride shotgun, get paid, ride shotgun, get the connections. I'll put you in contact with anyone you want, anyone that I know that you, or that you know I know, that you want to talk to, you want to work with down the road. I even told these kids, I was like, dude, put in your time, come work with me for a year, maybe 2, and you come knocking on the door and say, Flair, I want to go work for so-and-so. Can you introduce me? Consider it done. 100%. I get more pride and joy out of bringing somebody in, teaching them the ropes, turning them into an entrepreneur, and then passing them off to a colleague for them to kick ass for their business. Like, I get more joy out of that than having a really good employee work for me. Because to me, that's the goal, is to like spread the knowledge that we have, spread the, you know, the know-how and everything with business. And like, it's no different than what Lojo did with you, right?
Yeah.
You come in, you put in your time, you put in your work, and I don't know, I'm guessing you knocked on the door and were like, I want to do this on my own. I think I can do it and whatever. And I'm not saying Lojo was like, dude, hell yeah, do it. I'll send you off. But some type of conversation obviously happened to the point where he encouraged you to do it. And on top of that is still, you know, working with you to this day. To probably help you with any questions you might have and whatever. And like, now he basically took you dropped out of college, you filmed, you edited, you put in your time, you put in your dues. And now you can argue, and you and I don't know each other super well at all. I bet you're doing what you fucking always dreamed of fucking doing. Like, you live the lifestyle that you've always wanted to live, thanks to Lojo.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, Lojo sitting over there takes pride and joy in doing that. And isn't going
100%, baby.
And badge over there, stealing my clout and shit. And you know, dude,
we were just talking about this earlier today too.
He's just because I know Lojo's a nice guy and he's a good dude. Like, that's how I am too. I don't want to get used. I don't want to get abused. I don't want somebody coming in for clout and then like starting a YouTube channel and then like promoting our competitors' brands or what, anything like malicious. Is that the right word? What am I trying to say? Yeah, whatever. Basically, like, trying to hurt me, but like you coming in and doing it the right way, putting in your time and getting elevated to the right level. It's like, it works. That's what life's about. Life's not about just fucking making money and making YouTube videos. It's about growing an empire, growing a community with other people. Like, it's not fun climbing the fucking ladder by yourself. That's right, baby. Like, it's really not. I don't get any joy in fucking doing it. But at the same time, you put in the fucking work to earn the position that you're in now. And that's the thing that people don't understand. And I don't, again, personally, you and me have talked literally on these 2 podcasts. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I know it when I fucking see it. I know you put in the fucking work for it. And I know Lojo's going to attest to it and be like, you did. You put in the fucking work. You earned your place. And hopefully y'all as business partners doing this podcast together and other things can keep growing to the top. But what these kids expect is to show up, do what you did halfway for a quarter of the time, and then expect to just get taken to the top. And that's called entitlement. That is called entitlement. And that's the fucking problem.
Yeah, no, dude, for sure. That was 100% like how me and Lojo did our thing. Came on. I told him from the get, I was like, dude, I want to do this, but I understand. Like, I could have tried to do it by myself, but I was like, dude, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I can learn how to do it. This guy's, taking, he's doing his thing. I was like, all right, I'll come in. We'll build your channel up. I'll work. I think I came on at like 125 or something. How many subs did you have when we started?
Yeah, probably something like that.
And then when I finished, it was like
close to 500.
Close to 500. Yeah. And it was dope,
That's dope. But, yeah, that's awesome. But
it was cool because, like you said, it was up from the beginning. It was like, dude, I want to do this, but your channel's first. And it wasn't like it was the perfect.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me jump in here because
it wasn't like this perfect, like we were just holding hands and skipping.
No. I was gonna say, let me guess, because I'm guessing there was days when you were trying to do your own shit, when you were supposed to be doing Lojo shit. Lojo found out that you were doing your shit. Dude, I've been there, and that's what these fucking kids don't understand. Is I've been there, I've done it, and I've seen it all in this space. Yeah. I know exactly where you're going with that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, but I towards the end was sloppy, and I do have some regrets for like leaving F words in, or doing some mistakes that I hadn't made over the last year of working for them. But we did it. We didn't even sign a contract. It was based on a handshake.
Never did. Yeah,
dude, I haven't had a single piece of paper between myself or any employee I've ever had in my entire life. Never.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Never. Nope. I've had no. Me and Banjo have never signed a piece of paper together. Never. Not one time. Nothing.
Wow, that is impressive.
You're talking about big money deals between partners. Never. I've never had a piece of paper between any camera guy I've had, any business partner I've had, in Ducks, Bucks, none of that. Never had a piece of paper between.
Well, hell, I don't feel bad anymore then.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. Freaked out by that. Yeah,
I was a little freaked out by it too.
Because
my dad always brought
like,
that
I don't like papers because then it gives something for people to rely on and hold against you and whatever. If you can't work with me and trust me enough not to fuck you, you shouldn't be working with me to begin with. We're not good. If you can't trust me, we shouldn't be business partners.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately a huge risk for that person. But like, we're all taking risks here. Like in the instance that I had, I'm buying trucks, I'm buying apartments, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, taking risks. I expect you to take risks on your end, drop out of school, basically to the point where like, at any point, I can kick you to the curb and you've got nothing. You can't file for unemployment. You can't do anything. You can't hold, like, you're gone. Your next paycheck is not guaranteed when you work for me. Not. But have I ever not held up my end of the deal with an actual partner? Not one time. And that's how you build trust. That's how Austin and I have the relationship we do. He knows he can trust me. Like, because I have had opportunities to him and probably a dozen other guys out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've had and they wouldn't even probably know it would happen. Kind of. Yeah. Never have done it. Never have done it. Like, never have done it. They know I've never done it. They see the receipts. Once we go through a transaction, they see the actual papers. And they're like, oh yeah, I guess, they see all the bank statements that I had only access to. And I was the only one that had control over for an entire company for 4 years. Bank statements come out publicly. through our group of guys, they go through and like, oh yeah, Flair didn't steal any money over the last 4 years from us, even though he could have, and no one would have known. That's how you build a relationship with somebody. That is how you do it. It's also how you get fucked. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, it works
if you
both
have
ways.
business partners, you can get your ass kicked. But I'm a risk taker. I want people to take risks with me. And that's the only way you actually can make anything worth a shit in life is by like, taking risks. So anyways, I didn't mean to go on a tangent about the paperwork, but like, just to make you guys feel better. I've never had a piece of paper between myself and anyone I've ever worked with. None.
It makes sense because if you're willing to take a risk, then you're willing to commit to something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
100%.
I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, that is an insane story. And yeah, just to build on what you said, I mean, yeah, me and Badge, we're an exception. We're not the rule because we just got really lucky with each other and how the situation played out. But I think it ended. We were just talking about this like an hour before we got on the podcast with you about how it all worked out between us. And it just kind of worked out perfect. Like he left at a perfect time. I was ready for him to go out on his own because I knew he was ready. He was ready a couple months before then, but that was our verbal agreement. Like, help me get through the summer, and August hits, we'll get you out on your own, and that's exactly what we did. So, and it's worked out
fantastic.
That is the way to do it. I mean, just man to man. I know you're not happy. I'm not really happy with the work you're doing, but what I need from you to set my business up to not fail is this. In exchange, I'll do this. That's all. It's a business, and that's how like I did that with Pool Jet. I did it with Zach. Like, I mean, Zach gave me like a month. Hey, I'm gonna leave in a month. Like, he was the most grown adult one that I've dealt with. You know what I mean? Like the thing with like Pool Jet and I had the same situation that you guys had, where like he didn't quit, but I knew he was ready to go on to the next chapter in his life, go back home and do whatever he needed to do, and it was showing in his work. I mean, very, very similar. But him and I talk all the time still. Like, that doesn't mean we hate each other and take his SD cards and flick them out, out the window when you're driving down the highway, wherever these kids did. Like,
whatever those
guys have to be that way. They don't have to be that way.
Yeah. When they said they were editing your video, they were throwing your SD cards.
Boom. Duck hunting at the farm. Boom. Ralph gets his balls chopped off. See ya. Damn it.
That's exactly what they did right there. Those little bastards. Well, open invite to you two gentlemen if y'all want to join us and tell us what the hell happened. But because I would just love to ask, how do you fuck this situation up, honestly? But, dude, we could sit here and talk to you all night, but my phone's literally about to die. So what were you about to say?
No, I was just saying, I wish nothing but the best for those guys. It's not a dig on them personally. It's just,
sure.
It didn't work out in business. I think they handled it the wrong way, and I moved on to the next chapter. But you wanted to hear the full story when I told you a little bit, and so there's the full fucking
that is a full
story.
That is a full story, dude. Oh my god,
Jeez,
I'm gonna have to listen to this again just to reprocess the entire story because I just don't even. That's not what I expected at all. Because how could you walk away from that? Like, how could you leave 21 years old? Wanting to get in the industry, that's not a foot in the door. That's like your entire body in the door of the industry instantly. And then with the amenities that you were providing, it's like, damn, bro. I know it's tough work, even if it is the toughest work. The compensation seemed like it was there. You know what I mean? Or just the opportunity. The opportunity is worth more than what you're making.
And they could have asked for more, and
they could have maybe got more and stayed around. It seems like you were open to paying them more too. So that's a weird situation, man. That just sounds like two kids at the end of the day. They just didn't want to fucking work hard, man. Like that's what it sounds like to me. And once again, nothing against them because I don't know them either. But I mean, that's what it sounds like.
No, they're great kids. They're seriously, they're good. They're good dudes. But didn't work out. But anyway, it's getting late. You need to go get the baby down.
Yeah, man. I need to do that, dude. That's one hell of a story, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. And
thanks for having me on. It was good chatting with you. I'll have to let you know the next time I have an employee debacle, and just to make this please don't make this a normal thing. I'm like, I can't deal with people anymore.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't a normal thing. Yeah, I hope this is the last firing conversation we have.
Yeah,
but,
that'd be cool.
Jesus Christ, man. Well, thank you for joining us, dude. That story was better than I could have imagined, man. But we'll let you go. Give our best to Macy and get that baby down. Hopefully she'll sleep all night for you tonight, man. But
I'm hoping.
Thank you for joining us, my brother.
Yep. All right. See you guys.
See you,
man.
Okay, man. So what's your I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to say.
I don't know either, man.
And that conversation was going for an hour and a half.
My brain is just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Can we all agree this was just the dumbest thing I've ever heard of? Like the dumbest job to ever walk out on?
I understand if you're not happy with the pay, but like work hard for 3 months and then stick something to them. Like after you've done the job right, and then be like, all right, dude, next year, give me this.
Yeah, exactly. Me and you talk about this literally all the time, from year to year, month to month. It's like, what is your value, you know, or what do you think you're worth? And I mean, Jesus, dude, a truck, an apartment, and then working with one of the number one creators in the space.
I get the fact that trying to do work and college, because there was a time when
that's true. That's tough.
When I was part-time working for you at the very beginning, I was still in college with like a 16, 18-hour
I remember trying to convince you to come on full-time, and that didn't happen for a while.
Yeah, we were in a creek eating alligator gar.
Is that when it was?
Yeah, I remember. I was like, I'm going to drop out of college to eat gar in a creek with this guy.
You just saw the way I was working on that gar. You're like, damn.
Dang, boy.
Got to be around this man.
But, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It blows my mind that people just miss these opportunities. We talk about this all the time. How life gives you a couple opportunities.
If you're lucky, it'll give you a couple life-changing.
And you take that opportunity.
Yeah.
And it might not be smooth. And it might suck.
And it probably won't be smooth in the beginning. That's what Flair was saying. Like, you're not just going to show up and 3 months later you're running the place. Yeah. It's like, how about you show up and bust your ass, like you said, for 9 months, a year.
Yeah.
And modify your craft and make it to where the person hiring you, they're just like, damn, I got to pay you more because you got better. You know, like that is the mentality that people like me and you and Flair and a lot of people have, but there's a lot of people that don't have that mentality. You know?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like they want top pay for mediocre work. You know what I mean?
And even like he was saying that he was willing to change the pay. I really don't want to slam these guys. I'm just frustrated.
I don't want to slam them either.
I just feel like there's a culture though, man. That's what I'm frustrated with. Is there's just a culture of people that don't really want to work now.
Let's talk about it real quick because we don't want to go too much longer. We know this podcast has gotten really long, but I do want to say on that note exactly what you're saying. There is now that divide, that not wanting to work, and here's how I would kind of phrase it. I lost my train of thought, so hold on one second. You know what? I will take this opportunity to read some reviews. We didn't read the Apple reviews today.
Yeah, dude.
And I fricked up. I'm sorry. I messed up. But if you guys did not know, if you listen on Apple, you can stop right now, leave us a 5-star review, and write a review. We might read it on the show. Here's one from Moon Mama 92. She said we're the best. Y'all are so fun to watch. Thanks for all y'all's hard work and great personalities and the fact that y'all keep it real. Thank you so much. And we got Devin Burke right here. Says this is the best podcast. Love the topics. Love the hypotheticals and who would win. LOL. I have one for you all. All beef aside, Lojo versus Milliken street fight. Both similar body types, weight, height, athletic background. Okay.
You asking me?
What do you think? Me versus Milliken.
Gotta go with my boy.
Yeah? Yeah, me
Milliken's jacked.
Squigged me.
Just kidding,
Freaked me with the okie doke. Yeah.
You know I got you, dude.
Then we got finally Avenged 89, awesome podcast. I listen to you guys every day on the way home from work. You guys are always hilarious, and it makes the drive home go by so much faster. Thanks, guys, and great job. Thank you guys for leaving those reviews and subscribing to this new channel and liking it and all that good stuff.
Yup.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say, so, it's fine. I think I was going to say something about how, when you came on with me, you were in college and, there may have been a learning curve there, just like there was with me at one point in my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? We all have to learn how to work hard. I think a lot of people, maybe this is where I was trying to get to earlier, but I think a lot of people think they're working hard and they're really not. You know what I mean? Like the effort that they're giving, and this is just something that takes time. It takes trial and error, I think, because most people aren't born with a really great work ethic. It's developed over time.
Right.
So I think a lot of people think they're working hard. A lot of people think they're making sacrifices. They think, I'm doing enough. But in reality, it's like, how are you? Like, how bad do you want this?
Yeah.
Because just like Flair was saying, like, last year I was editing my own video, or before you came on, whatever.
For sure.
I mean, my routine was film during the day, but somehow be done when the kids needed to be picked up from school, or at least when they got home.
Yep.
Daddy mode all day. And then as soon as everybody was in bed, I'd edit a video that night, as long as it took. If it took 2 hours, cool. If it took 4, okay.
Yep.
Didn't matter. I edited the video for the next day, and I wouldn't go to bed until it was done editing. It was rendered, uploaded, thumbnail was done, title was set. It was scheduled for the next day at 4 p.m. Then I would go to bed, and I would just do it all over again the next day. So, like, yeah, same as Flair, like, you could miss me with that whole, I'm all about the grind. Like, if you're all about the grind, it's called a grind for a reason. Grinding is not good. You know what I mean? Grinding is like things rubbing against each other and friction and energy moving against each other. It's not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A grind is not a good thing. It's typically hard. It's frustrating. It's stressful. But there is a level of grind you have to put in before you reach a level of success. And we all know that. But yet it seems like people, either they're not willing to put in the grind but once they actually see what it is, or B, they just don't even know what it is because they've never done it. No, and they just think they're working hard, but they're still getting 8 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
And see, that's a problem right there, because if you get 8 hours of sleep, that means you could have got 6 and you could have put 2 more hours in of something.
Yep.
That's how I look at it, because that's how my mind works. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
If you can get 8 hours of sleep and still do everything you need to do, then hey, sleep 10 hours. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, if you're sleeping 8 hours a night, but you want more out of life, then hey, sacrifice them 2 hours and figure something out. Start putting 2 hours into something else every night.
For sure.
I mean, I just feel like that's what everybody's had to do.
Yeah.
Is
to get to where we are.
sacrifice that time. That's the biggest thing at the end of the day. You're sacrificing time doing what you want to do, and instead doing something you really don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like editing or filming or researching or traveling or whatever, So, yeah, I don't want to bash the guys either. I'd say, honestly, open invite. I mean, if they hit us up and wanted to come on there and defend themselves, just like we always do, if we ever talk about a person on this podcast, that means you're automatically invited to come on and defend yourself. Just like Luke Duncan, just like Milliken, just like Kicking Their Bass TV. Anybody we've ever mentioned on this podcast, you're certainly welcome to reach out to us and get on the podcast anytime. So, yeah. I mean, that's an open invite. If you guys don't know what that means you can come on here anytime. Just get up with me. In fact, I've tried to reach out to some of these people and they have not responded.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is there's a freaking open invite, okay? Like, there's nothing I can do if somebody doesn't want to come on, but open invite, folks. We'll Zoom call it up.
Yeah,
we'll Zoom chat the shit out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and we won't edit it either. We'll just let it run.
We'll chop it up, baby.
Let it be
Change
raw.
your words.
All right, if I make this, you give me your houseboat. That was kind of close.
Heart sank.
That was kind of close.
Speaking of that, my back is tightening up right now.
Badge just picked up my 80-pound dog, and now his back is just completely out.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and wrap this pod. But big shout out to Flair for joining us. Go check out his channel, of course. Go check us all out on Uncut. That would be myself, Flair, Lunkers, and Mendak. Maybe you one day.
One day.
Yeah. But in the meantime, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Whatever you did today, hope your day is a little bit better now. Love you guys. We out.